Welcome to the behind the scenes of a very recent photo shoot I did for an engagement shoot. It is a horror themed, it is a Texas Massacre themed engagement photo shoot, and it was so much fun. It was all their idea. They picked the location, they called ahead to see if a photo shoot was good. I mean, these are the kind of clients that I wish I can work with all the time. They made it so easy for me. They're close personal friends of mine, and they got engaged about a year ago. So I've been looking forward to being able to do their wedding, which will be later on in the year, not till October. But basically, what I want to tell you is I'm going to get behind the scenes here and tell you a little bit about what's going on, what happened, how I communicated with them. In the spirit of transparency, I made a mistake. I forgot to turn on the microphone, so unfortunately I didn't capture any audio of the day. However, this is going to be a voiceover, so that means I get to talk about the things that I think are going to help you the most, the things to pay attention to. Well, if you don't know who I am, I'm Andres Perez. I'm a photographer from San Antonio, or rather I'm an aspiring professional photographer. So if you're getting started, reach out to the people you know. Let them know what your intentions are. For example, I want to start a photography, videography, event, portrait, media company. And because they knew, they reached out to me and they said, hey, you want to do my engagement shoot? And of course, we made it happen. So let me tell you about what's going on here a little bit. What I'm using here is a Canon 70D. I have a C-stand. It's a Flashpoint C-stand. And I have a 32 by 32 Godox softbox, and I'm using for the flash the Godox 8200. Actually, I'm using two of them with the double head adapter. So that's the equipment I'm using. If you're interested, I have a link in the description below to all my gear. Otherwise, as far as the lens, I started off with the Sigma 18-35 1.8 art lens. And then I moved on to 15mm, the 50 Nifty, the 1.8, Plastic Fantastic. Now let's talk about, posing, because that's what engagement shoots are all about, right? So what I like to do is I like to start with a base pose. I tell them, for example, okay, face each other. And then I start to adjust. So I want to make sure there's interaction between the two, make it look like, they love each other. So I told her to put her arm around him, hold hands, lean your head in, just little tweaks like that. Now in this case, we have somebody else to worry about. We have Leatherface, right? So I'm having him come out in the back. I'm telling him, move back, move forward, raise up your chainsaw, and then I told him to start moving forward. So I already posed the couple. I have already made them comfortable with the camera. And now we're going to start making the story, because this is what's so special about the themed photo shoots. You get to make those stories, and that's exactly what we're doing here. So then I go ahead and I check. I tell them, okay, we're going to do it again. And then now, small adjustment, I want you to look at him. So again, same thing. Raise your chainsaw, start coming towards us, act like you're scared. Right, and if you can notice, they immediately start posing away. And by the way, one thing to always remember, whatever's closer to the camera looks bigger. So let me show you something pretty awesome. So next, I tell them to act like they're running away, right? And so they do their thing. I don't have to pose them exactly how I want them to. And check out the picture we came out with. This is amazing. Right here, it's one of my favorites from the day. It just kind of goes to show you that posing and getting everybody comfortable, and you can just have fun when you get to do these photo shoots. So certainly something that you might want to try on your next photo shoot. Try to make it themed, try to get to know the couple, to really pull out their personality. Now of course, like any good photographer, we're gonna do some experimenting. So I noticed there's a bridge, I noticed these cottages, small houses, I'm gonna call them cottages. So I noticed these cottages, and so I want to utilize them. So first thing I did is I actually posed a couple up in the cottage, had them, you know, look like they're looking into each other's eyes lovingly, do all that, get them comfortable. Then I brought in Leatherface, and we tried some different things. So one thing I decided was I'm gonna go natural light on this one. Um, I feel like it's just more closer to what we were looking for the final images. And so that's what we did. You know, I had them, okay, act like you're running. That came out so and so. Then I had them actually run towards me, and I started shooting some pictures, some burst mode. It came out some with really good ones, I would say. They were pretty happy with a lot of them. So we ended up shooting in a couple of different spots. Definitely we wanted the front of the barbecue place. We wanted to get the sign in there. It's, you know, basically a must-have. So Pose got a couple of shots there. But what we did is to get the ending of it, we went to the van. So here's where we set up the scene. Right now they're busy getting themselves ready. They're gonna put on some makeup to make it look like it's blood. We did a couple of shots there before, and it was a little bit warm that day. So what I did was we would take some shots, come into the shade, rest a little bit, then take some more shots. Certainly with Leatherface. So Leatherface is actually their friend who so nicely came out to come help with this shoot, and he stayed in that mask the whole day. I can't believe he did that. But I wanted to give him a little thank you by taking some pictures of him. So while they're getting ready, I had him do a little bit of posing. We tried a couple of different things, and you know, just a little thank you so he can come back with something for all the help that he gave us. But one of the scenes we shot was kind of like a picnic scene, so we already have the blanket down there. You know, they're just relaxing, having a good time. But for the last scene, and you know, I kind of talked with them ahead of time to see how they wanted to end this, what the story, how did it finish, right? And so basically it was either did they win and get away, or did they die? So they're like, well, we die, of course. So I was like, all right, well, let's do that then. So I made it seem like, you know, they had fallen. He kind of snuck up on them, and so he finishes them off, and we're just kind of discussing what looks best. So we have them here posing, acting like they're scared. They're, you know, they're getting chopped up, and then I just kind of went around to try to experiment what would be best, what would look best. And oh boy, I am so happy I did that, because I got this over the shoulder shot that was just amazing. It really creates some depth. We have him in the foreground, we have them clearly shown, but it really shows and it, you know, like the fear and all that. It's really cool. So really happy we got to do this. But yeah, so what I would say then at this point is just go ahead and make sure you like. If you stuck with me this far, you like the video. Come on now, just make sure you show that publicly. But the other thing is, just go ahead, ring the bell after you subscribe, because I want to do more of these behind the scenes type of videos. And by you doing that, that really shows me that people appreciate it. So it gives me encouragement to keep doing this. Otherwise, I encourage you to ask questions, and see you in the next video.